Disney movies. They're cool. But whenever a movie is cool, there's bound to be ripoffs. And those ripoffs are never good. So let's dive in. Most of the ripoffs we're discussing today are from a Brazilian company under the name Video Brinquedo. I discussed them a bit in a video I made around a year ago about bad movies. Long story short, their films were good enough to have the whole company defunct in 2012. They even have their website still up. It's very professional. One of the things they distributed was some obscure religious cartoon called Kingdom Under the Sea. One that everybody seems to talk about is Ratatouille. The fact that the title looks like ratioing already tells me that it's gonna be better than the Disney classic. Why does every bad animated movie have this peaceful music? They really describe this city.
Land of sun and heat, with one of the most beautiful urban skylines in the world. This is a prosperous city. That's where our story takes place. In the heart of this city, in a very famous and sophisticated restaurant, frequented by the most notable residents of the city. It seems that everyone, even from distant places, wants to come to this restaurant just to taste the famous recipes served there at Ratatouille.
This reminds me of something I'd watch whenever I was 6. The rats are eating at the restaurant, and they all seem to be voiced by only 2 people. They keep rambling about how good this restaurant is and how they got here. Probably just to make it 43 minutes. I skipped about a minute, and they still were talking about food and how they need to serve food.
Precisely!
That walking out was uncomfortable. So I guess these rats run this restaurant. And they're really good. It probably took me too long to realize that. I'm 7 minutes in, and it still feels like I'm watching the exact same thing. So this other rat who's the waiter suddenly has to know these recipes. And the cuts are amazing. Like it was thrown together in an awful editing software. They literally keep saying the same thing over and over again. They talk about how good the food is, and then they deliver to customers whenever they want something. There's then a slight tweak in the cycle each time whenever something else happens, but then they just do it over again. Even whenever something interesting is about to happen, they just find a way to make it some damn thing. They want to find some secret about how they could continue to be the best restaurant. And that's basically it. Here, I'll fast forward to see if anything what incarnation is happening. So the next film we'll talk about is this movie called Tangled Up. Obviously, it's a direct rip-off of Tangled. Apparently, according to the Disney Ripoff Wiki, this crap is mostly a compilation of old fairy tales or something that was made in the 90s, and it takes 22 minutes to actually get to the point. I can't really find the movie reposted anywhere. We're gonna have to take other people's word for it whenever we say that it only deserves 1.6 stars. There's also a movie called Kiara the Brave. Obviously, it's a rip-off of Brave. It seems to also have been called Super K, but was renamed to Kiara the Brave in the USA to attract a new market, I'm guessing. One thing I should mention is that this one wasn't made by Video Brinquedo, I believe. It was originally released in India, in the same year that Brave was released. There are dozens of Disney ripoffs that I can't even begin to talk about, because this video would go on forever. Finding Jesus. Many of you have probably heard of this movie from reviews, but if not, it's basically a bunch of fish that are trying to spread the word of Jesus and sound like the voice actors were being held hostage while recording. This movie is freaking awful. I don't even know how to describe it. Just look at the animation. Here, I'll give you guys a challenge. If you guys can find an animated movie worse than any of the ones we've been through today, I will give you a shout out.